This is Weekdays with Wendy, and I'm reading to you from the Love Your Neighbor, No Exceptions Daily Flip Calendar. Today's reading is a quote by Mahatma Gandhi. It is easy enough to be friendly to one's friends, but to befriend the one who regards himself as your enemy is the quintessence of true religion. The other is mere business. When I read this quote, I couldn't help but think of Daryl Davis. Daryl Davis is a phenomenal musician. He's an author, and he has made his own documentaries, but he is also known for the ministry of race relations. As an African American man, he has befriended people who have been part of the KKK. And he's written a book about it called Clandestine Relationships, a black man's journey in the Ku Klux Klan. It was 30 years ago. He was part of a band. They were a rock band, but they weren't getting many gigs. And so, because country western music was so popular at the time, they switched over to country music. And they were playing this one country western bar, and after a set, Daryl went off and kind of got his typical drink, which is cranberry juice, and a white patron of the bar came over to him and kind of slapped him on the back and said, "Man, I can't believe a black man can play like Jerry Lee Lewis. You were incredible." And Daryl Davis kind of laughed and he said, "Well, where do you think Jerry Lee Lewis learned to play? It was from black people." And then he went on to share that Jerry Lee Lewis was his personal friend, and the man, that was just too much for him to believe. Well, this man invited Daryl Davis for a drink, and Daryl told him, "Well, I don't drink, but I'll drink my cranberry juice with you." And so the man accepted that, and he ordered himself a beer and cranberry juice for Daryl. And he said, "This is the first time I've ever had a drink with a black person." And Daryl was surprised. He said, "Well, why is that?" And the guy was embarrassed and, he kind of put off the question. And Daryl asked him, "Why haven't you ever had a drink with a black person?" And the guy finally said, "Well, I'm in the Ku Klux Klan." Daryl kind of laughs and he's like, "Well, why would you be a part of that group?" And I don't know. Well, they continued talking, and the man said, "If you're ever in town, would you please call me so I can hear you play?" And Daryl kept good on that promise, and those two men developed a sort of a friendship. And every time they'd meet and talk, Daryl would kind of push him on questions. "Well, how can you be a part of an organization that hates people because of their skin?" And more, this man struggled with his identity and his beliefs until one time he and Daryl met, and he handed Daryl his Klansman robe. And he said he had quit the KKK because he just couldn't uphold their values or their beliefs any longer because of his friendship with Daryl. Since that time, Daryl has made it an intentional ministry of his to seek out members of the KKK and to develop these friendships where he can help them know and care for an African American. To date, he has collected well over 200 KKK Klansman robes. Now, he never needed to do this. He wasn't the one who was racist. But as a Christian, he understood that Christ came to set people free. And he had a unique ability to be able to talk with people and set them free from the burden of hate and ignorance and fear. If we love those who love us, what credit is it to us? But when we love those who hate us, when we love our enemies, that is true religion. And that is our true calling in Christ. Have a great night.